Hello! It's so nice to be here again. This is the video for the Magic Unicorn Energy Guidance for this next week, so April 27 to 3rd of May. By looking at the date for next week, I realized we were crossing into a new cycle, a new monthly cycle of May. Before I start chatting about everything and connect everything with everything, I invite you to come here and now, to take this moment to center and to ground. And you know my magic trick to do that is you sit comfortable. I have many cushions under my butt right now. And I sit and I close my eyes. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Relax your face. Relax your arms and your shoulders. And relax the rest of your body anywhere that you may feel some tensions. And connect with your breath. Feel yourself breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing some new air to come in, to be transformed inside of you and to come out as new. Feeling yourself breathing inside, feeling your whole vibrating. Dropping any pressure you may feel on your shoulders or your arms, drop it. Relax your arms, relax your elbows, relax your shoulders, relax your hands. And now I invite you to bring your breath in your heart center, to bring your awareness in your heart center. Your breath is all over your body. So bring your awareness in your heart center and feel yourself breathing here. This is your power of love, your inner love center. Wow. And it's vibrating. Can you feel it vibrate inside of you? Nice. You're feeling yourself seated, supported by the surface you're sitting on, supporting by the ground. You can feel your heart vibrating. You can feel your whole breathing. And it's nice. And now I invite you to open your eyes and come in this new space with yourself, our heart center. I've been talking about our heart and our heart pains in my recent articles, and I want to talk more about it because when the heart is expressing its pain, it's intense and it's challenging with this energetic wave that I call the emotional tsunami. I want to remind you because I love calling it the emotional tsunami because for me it feels like it. So this wave that is flowing through us right now, it's very interesting because it's reminding us a lot of the past. So I don't know for you, but for me personally, it's like poof, little bubbles of the past popping up in my mind. I've got some memories. I've got some people contacting me that I haven't chatted for a long time. I contact people that I haven't chatted with a long time. It's like a reconnection with our past. So when some parts of our past are feeling very nice, it's a pleasure, to reconnect. But some parts of our parts are filled with pains and suffering And it's so not so nice to reconnect with them. And when they come back to us this way, it's not that they come back, they're inside of us. When they come up to the surface of our mind, of our thoughts to observe, well, the feelings are still here. It's just suddenly we have this awareness of it. They're like, oh, the pains are still here. The intensity of the emotion seems to still be inside of me, and now it's boiling up in my head with all these words and stories that I don't really feel comfortable with anymore. So when this happens, we focus on the heart, and the heart is love. So when the heart is in pain, it wants love. It wants love. So all the stories you have are here for you to observe them and transform them into something new, into something loving for yourself. I am not asking you to ignore or to deny or to forget those pains or to erase them. Not at all. They're here, but they're from your past and you learn from them. So observe all that you've learned. Observe how you are now with yourself and bring this sense of love from your heart on these pains and transform them into a lesson, transform them into something new for yourself, some things that you can take with you and go forward with, and not have it deepen inside like a very like a rock, like a rock inside of you, heavy that you carry with you all the time. When the rock comes back up to the surface, it wants to be, played with and transformed into something new, transform it into a flower, so you can plant on the floor and observe growing with you. I could go on with all these metaphors and examples. So the heart, I really feel the experience we are living now is a heart awakening. Awaken to your own love for yourself. And this is by accepting what you've done in the past, Accept the past as it is. You can't change it. Regretting it is making loop in it. Just let it go and throw flowers at it. Transform it in your heart, work with your acceptance and your forgiveness and your self-love. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. There is also something else I want to talk about. I want to talk about our communication. I really feel this strong energy of communication. And when I look at astrology, it's actually telling me that the planet Venus now is in the house of Gemini. So Venus is about beauty and Gemini is about communication, if we look at just big keywords like that. But it's not about what astrology tells me, it's about how I feel. So communication, it's very interesting because this communication is enhanced right now because we're into physical, social distancing and we don't have those social gathering like before. We actually have them in a new way because what I can observe and what I can hear is many people are gathering and making parties through online like through the screens. I found it very funny. And also there's a lot more in my personal life. I call people more through video chats and take the time to call them instead of just sending little messages, and that's very nice. It's like we are it's not that we are developing new ways of communication because we had those ways before, it's just we are practicing them more, we are doing them more. It's just different. We're doing different things with our communication. And so communication comes with expression because when I communicate, I express something coming from me. And I was just talking now about our heart and about how we feel. And sometimes our feeling are projecting through our expression and communicating something that might not be what we really wanted to communicate. When we're projecting this tension, this pains we have inside of us straight to the other without really realizing it. Because do we want to give to the other pains and suffering? Do you want to receive pains and suffering? That's more this way, because what you give to the other, you give to yourself as well. Like the giving and receiving, the relationship you have with the other is a relationship you have with yourself. So what you give and receive from the other is also happening inside of you. So it's interesting to go inside of you and to observe how you're communicating and how you express yourself. And as we are now in a cycle of my nature is beauty, because I call this it's a sun and Taurus cycle, and there's this strong call about nature and the beauty of nature. It's not only the sun in Taurus or whatever astrology is telling us, it's what's happening in the whole world. Observing our actions on nature and observing our actions on our own nature, and realizing that we are nature. We can't separate ourselves from the plants and the flowers and the sky. We're part of it. We have an influence on it, and we are influenced by it. You know, I'm breathing in nature and I breathe out nature. I am part of this cycle. And as nature is beautiful, however it is, appreciate, because even this behind me is part of nature. I really see everything as nature. We're living in a natural world. So why would I separate and say, like, my pen is not nature? It's part of nature. It's just a transformation by us humans of our nature into something different, but it's nature. So stop playing with the pen. So you are beautiful the way you are. You are nature. So like the flower is beautiful in the way it's just unique. You don't have two flowers the same. And you're not going to the flower and say, hey darling, here your colors are not matching with each other, and you don't look conform to the one next to you. That's wrong. No. So you do the same with you. You don't judge yourself about how you are, how you feel. Just accept you are beautiful. Open your heart to your own love, to your own beauty. And from this place of acceptance of your beautiful nature, you will discover new things. You will open new doors within yourself and outside of yourself. We start here, and then we explore what's coming out of here. My nature is my beauty is my nature. It's kind of two words to say the same. It's me, it's you. So communication and beauty. I personally love receiving beauty, so I work with myself to express beauty as well. And it doesn't mean that I don't express my pains and my frustration and things that I don't feel comfortable with. I do. It's just I express them in a beautiful way. I don't express them projecting tension, like I was saying before. And all this beautiful expression, it's our work, you know, our creation, the expression, what the words we take out, the let's talk about words. I really want to talk about words, and I'm like, oh, see, why don't you talk about everything else? Talk about the words. It's always very funny to let the flow come out and adjust myself to you. So words, we communicate a lot with our words. It's big in our communication, and especially now because we're away from each other. So it's a lot with the words we write. We have those video chat, but we don't have this person next to us to touch or sometimes it's cutting with the internet. So it's a very different communication, you know. So it's interesting in this new way of communication we are playing with the other people. It's interesting to observe your own way of communication with yourself. Which words am I using in my mind to express how I feel, and which words am I using to voice out to the other how I feel? So watch your words. You have the power to control the word you're using. You know, the variety of vocabulary is yours to choose from. I personally changed all my vocabulary and the way I was organizing my sentences some years ago, and it really changed my life, because by opening my vocabulary and the way I express in words, it really allowed my mind to open and my whole self to open. It also offers to the other person an open space to be too. And it's a work in progress at every moment, because every moment will feel different. So I really invite you to observe your words and how you communicate. And it's okay to decide that you don't want some words in your life. I actually decided to to delete words of my vocabulary. I know they're here. I can hear them coming towards me or around. I just decided to not use them anymore because they were not supporting my own love, my own beauty. Okay, you create your own beauty with your words as well. So I wanted to talk about that. Um, and I want as well, like I started. So we're coming into May. I've just realized, I'm like, whoa, this is cool. So each time there is a new cycle, being astrological, being our calendar, being whatever, it gets me very excited because it means there is a new cycle. And every new cycle for me is a moment of ritual because I just love it. I love learning from my past, and I love going into the new with new lessons and new wisdom and new knowledge. I just really enjoy that. It's like I'm growing. I'm taking myself in, I'm holding myself to grow. And so this week, I really invite you to observe all your months of April. Everything, go through it. If you have a journal, just go through the pages like that. If you made stuff, just go through it. Go through your months of April. Talk about it with people as well. What happened during this month? How did you feel? Observe your process of growth. Observe your progress. And from that, you will have a more holistic vision of April, of what just happened. And then you will go into May, more as a whole, more in like with the integration of what happened in April. I can't tell you how. I'm like, how can you tell anyone how they're going to go into May? Like, just do this process and see how it goes when you go into May. I really like the cycles, being the moon as well. So the moon was just, let's talk about the moon. The moon was just new. She was dark. We couldn't see her. She was close to the sun. And now she's separating from the sun. So we're going to start seeing her at night. Again, you can see her at daytime as well in the sky because she's not reflecting the light of the sun, but she's here, And at night, we're going to start seeing her reflecting the light of the sun. So very thinly. So it's very nice to observe. It's called a waxing moon when she's growing. So I invite you to observe your night sky. It's very enlightening because when in the dark, the light can shine. The light can shine. All right. I wanted to pick a card as well. I don't know why earlier I picked up my card. So just one last thing with a card. Come on, give us another message. Oh yeah, I just picked this one. Oh, this is a major arcana. Again, I show you my card. This is a major arcana card, and it's number 6. It's a lover. So thank you, Tarot, as well, is telling us, love yourself, make union with yourself, accept all your parts, accept all your parts, because they're all part of your beauty. Everything is part of your beauty and who you are right now. Accept your parts, unite them in your own self, embrace your love, be your own lover. Yes, I love you. Enjoy this week and meet soon. Ciao.